All right. Had to get my internet back up and running, so I apologize for the delay. MLR, what's up? So I apologize for the delay. What's up, MLR? And we just have to wait for NB to show up. NB was on Kendra's channel, so we're just gonna wait for him to show up. I promised him a one-on-one, and that's why I'm here. So hopefully he will show up. I said about an hour. So hopefully he will show up and give his analysis on the COVID thing, since he had all these myriad conspiracy theories. So I didn't want to do it on Kendra's because I don't like showing out on somebody else's platform. So I'm going to wait on him. Ash, what's up? How's that baby? How's that cute little chubby cheek baby? So I'm just going to wait for him. If not, I've been doing a lot of streams on other people's platforms, and that mental energy is kind of low right now. So other than that, I'd be like eating Cheetos and looking at movies. Uh, is that 4? Okay, really, really. That's well. Santa Monica has got a lot of shops and stuff it needs to protect, so I'm not surprised. They're really trying not to bring out the National Guard. That National Guard is already in place, and they're trying not to bring them out. So they're trying to calm things down before um, they have to do no, basically what is it? Martial law. They really don't want to do that, so they're not trying to. So I'm not surprised. It's not in chaos. Oh, really? They're robbing everything? Well, you're gonna get martial law in a minute. So it is what it is. No, it's not about black people. It's just frustration. They need the energy to go somewhere. Art, what's up? Yeah, yeah. They put people in place a long time ago. Um, and people thought that the National Guard was out there to actually start locking down the cities and controlling people, and not like that. That's not why they were there in the first place. Um, any sane thinking military guy or people at that level know that if you're going to lock down the country financially and put people under stress, this can happen. So they put them in place like almost 2 months ago, and this is why they put them in place. So exactly what were afraid that might happen, which is why they deployed them in the first place, is happening right now. The National Guard, they don't want to deploy them. If they wanted to, they could have deployed the National Guard as soon as things started jumping off. They didn't. They don't want. They don't want to do that. They don't want to rile up people up more than they are already. AB, what's up? MB is supposed to show up. He's supposed to show up. So he should be checking. I don't think he'll show up, but we'll see. People like get jumping on panels because they can hide. But when it's one on one, it's just you out there and people listening to you talk. It's a different story. And people don't like their theories to have holes poked in them, and you can't do that on a panel because you have like 5 or 6 people and everybody wants to get in, and so um, they can continue to throw out theories one after another and and uh, and trigger people and start different arguments and keep moving the goalposts. Where one on one you can't do it because I'm gonna let you talk. And I'm gonna hold you to your theory. I'm gonna hold you to your chain of logic and make you go deeper into it because you should have thought it out. The 3900 XT is just a better bend part. It'll be slightly better than the 3900X, but if basically from what I'm hearing, it's only like maybe 2 or 3% better at best. So why would you pay $500 for 3% when you can actually find the older part that costs you like 350? It will do the same job. That makes sense. So what I would do is, instead of getting 3900 XT, I just wait for it to come out, wait for the price to drop on the old part, and buy the old part. The only difference is that maybe the 3900 XT will actually have unlocked other newer things in it because it's a newer part, like for the newer boards, like a better memory regulation, that kind of stuff. But basically, it's the same part, just better bend. So I'd guess you get the old part when the new one comes out. That's what I would do. Hey, Fitness Mom, what's up? I will do it for you, Fitness Mom. Okay, you just let me know when. You heard it was going to be 400. I will get the old part. If it said $400, I might get the old part, the old 3900X at like $300 or something like that. That's what I would do. Well, he kept asking me. He was throwing out all kinds of stuff. He says, "Okay, man. Well, if you want to do it," I said, "We'll drop the link. We can do it right now." And he said, "Well, I need to prepare." I said, "If while you coming at me now, why you need to prepare?" He said, "I know how you are." I said, "Well, if you don't, why, you should already have your facts ready." And then he said, "Well, I need a week." I said, "If you need a week, that means you're not ready." Not really pump and dump. If it was crumbling before your very eyes, uh, riots or chaos would be the last thing we need to worry about. It'd be considerably worse. United States goes, it won't just be us. And if you thought it was crumbling before your very eyes, you'd be making a whole lot of plans, man. Bronze Dip, what's up? NB, where you at, man? I'll give him another 20 minutes, man. What they like to do is wait till there's a panel and then come on real late and then claim that 5 people jumped on him. Uh, he probably isn't, but he's googling his answers. Nah, dude, I don't know what MB stands for. I don't. Like I said, like Michael's on here, man. Uh, I've been asking Michael about this since January, man, and Super Triz and Rodney, and because they're on the front lines, man. They're not going to lie to me. So I trust them. The other doctors that I don't know anything about, that has to happen to show up on YouTube to give a statement, I don't trust them, man. I trust the facts on the ground. I trust facts from multiple sources, and I trust the people that they're in position to know that I trust, like Don Calypso, Dr. Dunbar, Rodney, Michael, and Super Triz. I trust them implicitly. Um, so if they say they're seeing something, they're seeing something. If what they're seeing lines up with everything else, then that's what I go with. And this has been over 6 months. This didn't just start yesterday. All these people that I trust have built a relationship with over years, and they've been, everything that they've said has been true to form. Has shown up. Triple X, what's going on? Not bright. NB, you wasting my time, man. Newborn. Because he kept jumping on Kendra's panel and in the chat and all that kind of stuff. Say, man, if you really want to do this, we can do this here. And he had so much smoke, you know. I said, meet me in an hour. So while I'm here, what other questions y'all have? I hope it's never broke. Let me check my email. It's probably emailing me in the background saying why he can't show up. No emails yet. Not brave. National budget. Now that would be interesting. No, he'll be back he'll be back on the next live stream, man. Trying to get in the chat and trying to argue. John Kaiser been pretty good, man. I've been pretty good. Host Cigar, what's up? So while I'm here, man, go ahead and you guys shoot your questions while I'm sitting here waiting on homie. Where you been underrated? Underrated. I heard about your circumstance, man. So I'm sorry to hear that you're going through what you're going through. So my prayers and blessings go out to you, man. Yeah, that's what I like. That one, Malika. NB nigga bullshitter. Yeah, they're jumbled. Yeah, he hasn't put them together. LA. I haven't really looked at the news, but so far, my neck of the woods is pretty quiet. I hear that in certain places they're probably looting, but I think it's more in the white people area now. It's not really in our area. That's the thing is about a second wave. We don't know. So thing about nature, you don't know. Hopefully, it's not bad, but we don't know. COVID treatment news. They're still looking at ACQ, azithromycin, vitamin D, vitamin C, vaccines. Vaccines, you want to see a vaccine for at least a year, even if they test them. And if they come up with a vaccine too early, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. I'll let somebody else test out a vaccine. They were trying to test out vaccines on Africans. Africans said they weren't having it. Not gonna use it as guinea pigs. One day I'll come through to Straglanta, man. Yeah, well, it don't mean nothing about drugstores and grocery stores closed. It don't mean nothing. People just throw a rock through the gates and bust right in and take your shit. So it don't matter if they don't burn it. Hopefully they don't burn it down after they leave. Yeah, I hear the white people are really cutting up, man, this time. Yeah, yeah. Well, the Rodeo Drive did get hit. That's what I heard. Now, last time Rodeo Drive was never touched, so it's not black people doing it. It is a joke, man. There's never been a successful treatment for coronavirus ever. They can give you preventative measures. Um, and actually, the HCQ is not a coronavirus treatment; it's for malaria. But since uh, COVID-19 acts like malaria, they said it's probably a better treatment. A revolution? No, I don't see a revolution happening. I would have told you. I would say silver, gold. I would have told you oil on a rebound, but that oil movement have bounced. Um, huh. Going forward, you would, if you're going to get in early, is tech and biotech. That's what I would say. Any if it was a quick move, I would say that when oil was at minus 34, should have jumped in and bought oil stocks because it's gonna it has to rebound. It can't stay down there for long. And China's going to open back up. Or when Bitcoin crashed, when China was offline, as soon as China came back online, it's something to invest in. But the thing is, you have to be nimble. I haven't looked at it in a minute. Um, okay, there's actors already there that will take advantage of it, like the alt-right that believes that there's a conspiracy theory and illegal government lockdown. They're going to be out there trying to hype the thing. Of course they would. Black Lives Matters and people that actually want to take advantage and get political notice, they're going to be out there too. So there's a whole lot of people that will come together to actually uh, uh, take advantage of this situation. Yeah, Karen. Yeah, Karen's. Yeah, white people are. They're broke, man. They become niggified. Let's put it that way. I didn't hear Killer Mike, but I'm gonna say I think Killer Mike is compromised. So Killer Mike back in 2015 is a different Killer Mike than in 2020. So I would take Killer Mike with a grain of salt, in my personal opinion. No riots in VA. It's gonna be spotty. It just depends. VA is too close to DC. So you're gonna riot in VA, you might as well go to DC. You're too close. Oh yeah, well they're gonna take advantage of it, of course. They're gonna take advantage. I mean, if you were them, you would too. They're under stress. Yeah, yeah. Killer Mike. I mean, I can't blame the brother, man. Hey, you got a couple choices, and he made his choice. So I can't blame Killer Mike. Uh, I would love to have the Professor Griff because I know Professor Griff, but I don't want, but Professor Griff has to make his money in the conscious community sector, and I don't want to mess up his money. Yeah, they're gonna shut down the cities. They're trying to control it. Yeah, Killer Mike is compromised. He's been compromised. Killer Mike said a couple things that upset the dominant society, the powers that be. So they made it. They gave him offer he couldn't refuse. So it's either be consistently hunted, or you can take this money. So he took the money. I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Dead said, "What up, man? My black pill brother." I think they would. I think they might start at James Hall, but I think that um, in a riots, uprising are very unpredictable, man. That's how come you don't want them. They're not orderly. Okay, so you try to kind of like a forest fire. You're trying to surround it, put up a fire break, which is why they deployed the National Guard ahead of time. So when people kind of exhaust themselves, then the National Guard will come in and actually um, bring things back into order. They already did it in Minnesota. So each city, they're gonna have a curfew. You don't want to obey the curfew. Still gets riled up. They'll let the grocery stores empty out, and then they'll bring in the National Guard, and then you have to worry about eating instead of what you're upset about. And then you'll calm your ass down. You'll line up and you wait for the grocery stores to actually come back in, trucks actually come back in and stock up your food, and that will calm everybody down. But that's the playbook. Well, Hulk, they've been doing that for like 250 years, so it is what it is. They do it less now. Yeah, yeah, people are frustrated, so yeah, which is why they didn't want it to start. Wanted to start. Yeah, it's real in New York, man. It's really real in New York, which is why Cuomo's upset. Cuomo was really upset with Washington D.C., man, because they didn't prepare him, and he said they have almost outright lied to him. He's really upset. Basically, they allowed New York City to take the lumps, take the brunt of the impact of COVID. It doesn't matter. It's open now, man. Whether he likes it or not. Once people are out in the street, it's open. You might as well open it up. Might as well open it up now because you got chaos. People have actually forgotten their better angels and their restrictions. The hell with it. We're going out in the street. So at this point, you might as well open it up. There's no sense in trying to keep it locked down. No, it's not gonna go that long, man. You got till next week. Lindy, what's up? NB, man, show up, man, so we can get this over with. I hope not to get a million cases in 3 weeks, man. Um, even if you got them, they're not gonna report them because they're not testing. They're not. Basically, what happened now is basically because of the social unrest. They're not testing anymore. They're pulling their people. Nah, they ain't gonna. They're not gonna pass another stimulus check right now, man. The reason for them giving you the stimulus in the first place is so that you won't do what you're doing right now. But if you're going to do it anyway, they have no incentive of giving you money. In fact, they have more of an incentive of letting you starve because you're out there already. And basically, if you get hungry enough, you'll stop. Said he said, "What up?" Yeah, yeah, it's gonna get closed. Well, of course, it's gonna close back down. Now you're giving a reason to close it back down. Oil, basically, it's not that it's been down, it's where it's come from. When oil was at near zero, you should have, that's when you needed to buy into the stocks for the rebound. Let me see what oil is at. Let's check West Texas. That's West Texas crude. It will to trading view. Let's see. I should track this, but I don't. That get tired. I don't feel like tracking this every day. Sorry. Let's try. Let's try this one. Crude oil. This is West Texas. Actually, oil is doing very well. It's doing very well. Let me see. Actually, oil is doing quite well since the reopening. Doing quite well. Let me go ahead and show you my screen. Yeah, it does. Let me show you my screen real quick. Screen share. All right, let's go full screen. This is the break. This is basically when China shut down, right? In February, in February, this is what happened, right? And when it wasn't going to open back up, it dropped, right? And then this is where all the tankers started backing up, have oversupply of oil, and that price war going on between America, Saudis, and Russia. Okay, and then it got to the point where you couldn't store it anymore, and it dropped down. And that's where you get this minus 34 right here, right? So right here is right around in here was where you guys should have bought oil stocks. It when oil was right around $10. Now it's up to what, 35? Oil is back to where it was before the break, right after the break. So oil, that divide, if it goes above this line, then oil will probably trade back up to where the next break is, which is right there, which is right around $48. I don't see that, but I say $40. You can see $40. So basically, if you traded oil from like right here to right here, you made what, 3.5 times your money. So oil is doing not too bad from what I can see. Even West Texas. This is NYMEX. Okay, this is light crude. So normally light crude is West Texas. We'll look up WTI if we can find it. That's gold. Let's check gold real quick. Let's check gold. Let's check the what is it? Yeah, let's check XAU. Yep, gold is it's plateauing. Yeah. So gold is plateauing right here. Let's see what else we got. Bitcoin is in a triangle, but it's an ascending triangle. Will it break out to 10,000? We don't know. But so Bitcoin is headed up to here, but the barrier, the resistance is 10 grand. So we'll see if it's going to break through it or dump down. But basically, this is the questionable area. If it goes back down to, what is it, 80, and what's the closest one? 9,000. It's probably a buy. Buy it at 9,000 and ride it up to 10 and see what it does. And see what else we got. All right, let's see if we can get West Texas. Somebody requested West Texas. We'll see. And let's see if you can get West Texas. I'm still getting crude light. All right, there's West Texas. Let's see. Let's see. They're not showing it. They're not showing the chart. Let's see. Still not showing a chart. U.S. West Texas. Yeah, well, U.S. West Texas is $35. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. You can see for yourself. Normally crude light is U.S. West Texas. U.S. West Texas is $35. So U.S. dollar, West Texas International Crude Oil, $35.49. So there's that. Any other questions? ETF called USO tracks oil prices. Well, it probably does. It probably does. We're thinking we're just showing the we're looking at the direct futures and looking at the raw chart. So NB, man, show up, man. Don't leave me hanging. Yeah, he probably they probably closed down Wells, but we'll see. USO. Okay, what is it? ETF. Okay. Um, Everything's uncertain because you don't know how the economy is going to go. So ETFs are kind of uncertain. Um, so when you have an ETF, well, yeah, the ETF for USO is at 25, but the ETFs are probably looking at the underlying stock chart, underlying stocks, oil stocks, and even then, if you had bought it at the bottom, see if we can get it 6 months. They're flat, man. They're flat. Basically, they're in a holding pattern. Their chart is flat. If you look at their chart, they're flat. In other words, they don't have a direction. So they're probably their underlying stuff is probably from the oil stocks, and those will move later once they have a clear direction. But they're virtually flat. So since they took the dip in March, in April, they've been flat. So if you're gonna buy them, you trust that it's gonna move. You can buy it now since it's low and they're virtually flat, but they haven't moved. So if you're willing to take a risk and invest, you could. Hopefully that their price will catch up to the oil price. But the thing is, if it's flat like that, that's uncertainty. They're probably buying into the oil stocks, oil company stocks, which is different. If you're willing to take a risk because they're at the bottom, thing is the thing about investing is especially if you're trading is risk. It's risk. What kind of risk are you willing to take? And is the risk that you're taking low? So if it's bottomed out, your risk is low. It's a lot easier now than it was. Before you had to buy a lot of expensive books and look at expensive magazines and piece things together. But now virtually they can teach you almost anything you want to know online on YouTube almost. All you have to do is to kind of get a dictionary, know what the techniques are, um, trading strategies are, look them over on YouTube, go through a little seminar, and basically try them out with your own charts, which is a lot easier to do now than it was. They're bringing me up on the women's panel perspective show. Okay. I don't know why you would do that, but well, my show has to do with what they do. Now, Sister George and Concrete Rose have been on my shows for years, man. So NB, man, where you at? Any other questions while I'm here? You could think or swim. You could. There's a lot of ways you can do it now. You can get um, you can. There's a lot of training uh, programs out there. Um, you get a forex account, learn how to trade, and practice. There's a lot of ways you can do it. No, it was to help. The original reason I actually had uh be just for women is for um actually help women learn about themselves. Because Crystal and Karen said I couldn't do it. That's the original reason for it. They can say what they want, okay? But the thing is, if I've already said why I did it, you can ask Char Willie, who actually encouraged me to do it. She'll tell you the same thing. If you don't believe me, ask Char Willie why I started it. They can dispute what they want. I don't care. They didn't start it, and they weren't there when it started. They came in afterward. Will the crowds from the protests help with the herd immunity? They'll spread it farther and faster than it would, but herd immunity basically means the people that can't help, that really can't withstand the disease will die off, and eventually what will happen is if enough of the weak die off, eventually that the disease will not have a vector to spread in anymore. That's herd immunity. But a lot of people have to die off first. If they want to come, I'm here. If they want to come over here and ask me about why I started it, they're welcome to come. But why I started it, and what their opinion of why I started it doesn't mean shit to me, because I don't even broadcast on the channel anymore. So what they think about my channel is irrelevant. I know why I started it. I know what I was doing with it. Um, I might even unlock the basically turn all the what you call a podcast public. You can listen for yourself. At the end of the day, as far as what they think, why I do what I do, I don't really give a shit. Okay, even over here, um, why people think I started the channel, what I do, I really don't care, because if you notice, even with the COVID thing, okay, I really don't care. Other than the facts of what's going on the ground, I really don't give a shit what people think. Okay, I never have. Okay, I say what I say for a reason, and when I say it, I mean it. Okay, and when I mean it, I don't care whether you like it or not. I really don't. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, yeah, he hasn't shown up yet. If the guys want to accept their reasoning about why I started my channel, and they want to accept their reasoning instead of coming to the source, good on them. Why can't people riot the MV and the ticket bureau? Something we should all like. Well, what are you talking about, man? I have no idea what you're talking about. Will I turn Hangouts to live streams easier on data for nomads? I have no clue about what you just said. I have no believe you had no clue about what you just said. They I said they're mad because I said they were a case study. Um, sometimes if they go on and they're really protesting something, like most of the time on my women's channel, we're just discussing what went on between women. Okay, what are you experiencing? We talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, right? Um, about animus, about improving themselves, about why do women think what they think, how women think versus men, all kind of stuff, actually to help them, whatever they want to talk about. A lot of stuff I didn't even bring up. When I drop the link and it's telling them to come on, they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. Now they become a case study, for men, if they want to go back and forth, they become a case study. Now, Sister George and Concrete Rose, if they really want to expand their work and actually get deeper um, into the work, then they will not be a case study. Kendra's not a case study. Kendra goes really, really deep into femininity, men and women's relationship, what it's like to be a wife, all that kind of stuff. They go really, really deep into it. Okay, instead of the all the old stuff we've been going back and forth about. If they want to do that, that's fine. But the thing is that if you want to just talk about what's going on already, that becomes a case study. But if they want to ask, you can send them the link. If they want to come over here, they're welcome to come over here. If they really wanted to talk about me, they have me answer questions, they could have sent me an email. I would come over there. But the thing is, you know, at the end of the day, I've said I've said continuously what I've said about the women's channel. Okay, and most men did not like it. But the thing is, most men will not believe what women think until they hear it out of women's mouths. And all I wanted the women is to be honest, not only so the men can see it, but also women can look at themselves. Because it's one thing they don't like to do is look at themselves. Well, yeah, they can't, because a lot of what they do is based on the stuff that I've said on my channel. So a lot of what they go through is based on the stuff that's already been done on the manosphere. A lot of stuff that they do is based on the work on those panels for Be Just for Women. What did I say about the women's channel? Okay. This is how it happened, right? Me and Crystal and Karazin were disputing. Me and Crystal and Karazin went back and forth about how. Hey Google, be quiet. Me and Kristen Karazin actually went back and forth about how do you reach women, how do you teach women, how do you make women better, right? And she says that men were incapable of teaching women unless you kind of like cater to them, talk to them real sweetly, blah 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 blah, right? I said you don't have to. I said I got daughters. You don't have to do that. I said women are very smart. They're very intelligent. They're very capable beings. They can be reasoned with. Okay. The thing is, what women don't like to do is be honest with themselves. And my only rule on Be Just for Women is be honest. Don't give me no bullshit. If you're gonna come in here spouting stuff, back it up and be honest about it. That's my only rule. And from there, we could talk about anything. Like we talked about culture. We talked about viral memes. We talked um, about even what is it, being black pill and the pimp whore relationship, and why women pick pimps, and how pimps actually find a sector of women that will allow them to do what they do. We talked about relationship between men and women. I remember Ash came on and asked about how she talked to her husband, which is Trigger, about the new baby that was coming. We talked about that. We talked about the octanes, or either the 85 to the 100 octane. We talked about that and how women are classified, how they group in cliques, and how that relates to not only the how what they choose as men, but how men choose them. So all this stuff that we talked about, even on BGS, on the Ibmore channel, they had a chance to talk about from their perspective on their channel, on the women's channel. So whatever the hot topic was, they could weigh in on it. And that's what, so basically it was like a coliseum for women. That's what it was. And it was impactful. That's how come people copy it. Even Crystalline Kerrison, she started with the pink pill shit. Instead of catering to women and tell them nice stuff, she actually started teaching them. Some stuff I disagree with, but that's what she started doing. She started following my protocols. Slavery and the dysfunction. I could, but that is a long, long, long discussion with multiple parts, and it's probably way too long for this hangout. If they're butthurt about me calling them a case study, you know what? Take it and run with it. I don't care. Oh, PA, the lockdown. Oh, they received the PA to okay that we all locked down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna happen. People will calm down in a minute. You know what? After the channel closed, after I stopped posting on the channel, I had more men come out and say how come I don't actually hold it anymore. I said you guys hated it when it was there, so why would you want it to come back? No, I've already done it, man. If you want to go back in the archives and look that stuff up, man, you're welcome to. I've done it. I spread it out over like 5 years, man. I can't do it in one show. Because she's she's trying to teach black women to accept men that they really don't want, instead of teaching them how to be a better women. So she's not doing that. I will at least give Nicole Michelle that she's actually teaching women how to be better women from her perspective. Kristen Kerrison trying to guide them into dating white men. And I don't have no problem with them dating white men if that's what they want, but that shouldn't be everything. You have to teach them how to be absorbed into the white collective. And the way she's teaching them to actually be absorbed in the white collective, in my opinion, is not correct. That's not the way I would teach them to do it. They have to change. They have to change their social conditioning, and that takes a while. The imprint. Oh yeah, I remember the imprint. Yeah, we did talk about the imprint. I don't know if she's a strag or not, but I disagree with get the bag, because you're actually treating men like a commodity, and that's not what a wife does. If you don't like the dude, um, if you're gonna actually horse trade resources for whatever you're gonna trade for, fine, come out front and say that. Don't sell women this shit. Just I have to act feminine to get a bag, okay? Because it's not gonna hold up. Obviously, it needs to be changed, and it is dysfunctional. But can you change it? And what do you need to do to change it? And a lot of people don't want to. Um, a lot of black people, especially black women, really don't want to change, and that's the secret. They don't want. They don't want to say. They don't want it changed. They're happy with the way it is. A fall. If I was going to predict a fall, and it's really difficult. I would say if it's going to fall, it'd be like 2035. That'd be my best guess. Like 15, 20 years from now, if it's going to fall, that would be my best guess. And it would break up. It could break up tomorrow. We don't know. Yeah, she's it's a performance. It's not a mindset. And women are actually desperately trying to figure out how to perform it because of what's going on right now with the economic crisis we're in right now. Yeah, it's kind of getting out of control. It's kind of get out of control. It which is something they didn't want. Which is why people say they actually uh, provoked this. I would say the opposite. Yeah, it'll they'll put up a curfew, in my opinion. Um, if people are still out there doing what they do, and it gets worse, they'll bring out the National Guard, you know, to actually calm things down with by Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. That'd be my guess. Ah, we don't need them. It does whether you need them or not. Basically, be honest and compete, and maybe the best people win, one way or the other. You have to compete for your men. They're not used to that. If it breaks, it'll be some place like Michigan, Ohio, or Texas that breaks, that declares that they're going to secede or something like that. Then you know it's real because Texas wants to leave. The unemployment rate is probably already 40% unofficially. Yeah, yeah. You can call it like clockwork. Um, Lightbearer already probably knows that this is just standard procedure. You can see it coming. They've been deployed for 2 months, man, and it's just waiting for the call. It's just when will the governor actually give them the call and say, "All right, move in and calm this shit down." And it depends. Minnesota already did it. I would suspect um, NYC to do it within a day or two. Um, UBI is a very touchy thing, is because it's not that you can't bring it. How do you make it work, and who pays for it? They haven't figured all that stuff out yet. They might have to, because they don't have any other choice. But right now, um, of secession would mean that it becomes a disruptive country, and nobody likes to move into a disruptive country, right? So basically, what happened was everything will collapse as far as prices. It's already collapsing because the foreign investors are not here anymore. I was told that by one of my co-hosts who's on another show, and she's been a real estate mogul for God 30 years, 35 years. And she told me, she said, real estate market is going to collapse within a few months. Um, so if you're a property owner and you got tenants that need housing and it's fairly priced, you probably don't have anything to worry about. People that are trying to get into it, it's going to be an issue. Okay, it's going to be an issue. If you can't afford your mortgage or something like that, it's going to be an issue. If I wanted you to know what show that was, I would announce it. But that's part of my alter ego. The people that know. The people that don't. But this is something she said to me off air. She didn't say it on the air. If people really want to find me, they can find me. People already have. So But I'm not gonna purposely out myself. Not here. It's not to protect me. It's protect them. Trust me, I would love to bring in all my past work into this space, but I made a decision when I first started I wouldn't. So I'm gonna hold to that. It is what it is. I mean, it's not really being smooth. It's just, I mean, I've said this from the very beginning. Okay, I don't use my real name for a reason. It's not to protect me. Because anybody, my voice is very distinct. Anybody that's ever heard me before knows. Oh, I know that guy. My voice, I can't hide my face will probably be harder to find than my voice. Now I'm Killmonger, baby. I'm Killmonger. You might be in apocalypse right now. We don't know. I'm just, when I give you guys something from my personal life, I'm giving you for references. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Okay, this is what I heard. I'm relaying it to you. Um, Check your own facts and do your own homework. Okay, I always say that. Don't believe me. Do your own homework. I encourage people to do their own homework. In fact, I get mad when people don't. Hell, where you at, man? Light bearer. Cass is my girl. I wish it was like 30. Cass, you'd be in trouble if I was 30 instead of 60. Hey, you be in trouble, baby, because I'd be in New Orleans looking for you. So you lucked out. Okay, you don't have BGS for a stalker. I'm in process of writing a book right now that I'm supposed to be working on. Okay, uh, a book on what? A book on what? Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, man. Yeah, you'd have a stalker if I was 30, but you're the same age as my youngest daughter, so basically, you're hands off. Authenticity. Yep, still a Laker fan. Been a Laker fan since I was 9 years old, 8 years old. With Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich. Nah, he's not gonna show, man. He'll email me later with an excuse. It's okay. Yeah, it's just it's supposed to have progressed until the and right up until the Monahan report. Like the Negro question was actually backstory for the Monahan report. How we got from slavery to the Monahan report. That's what it was for. The Monahan report integration was supposed to solve the Negro question. It didn't, but that's what it was supposed to do, and it didn't. Find the link for what? BGS versus Rudent Part Two. I mean, if I want to scream, it'd be all right for Rudent, but I don't feel like screaming at people. I don't have time to just scream at people just to be screaming at them. If you ain't got nothing to contribute, you don't have nothing in your back pocket that's worth anything, then I don't have to even talk to you. Yeah. Oh yeah. I always encourage people to fact check me. I mean, I always encourage people to fact check me. Like when we talk about crude oil, I didn't fight you. I pulled up the chart. I pulled up the chart. I could let me show you a Bitcoin chart real quick because I said this. I think Glenda Cameron got mad at me when I actually pulled the Bitcoin chart up because I told him once the Chinese the uh, the Chinese economy got going, open back up, Bitcoin was going to bounce. I think he's still mad at me. He might not be. I'm just probably exaggerating because he told me it was going to crash. I told him it wasn't. This is an old chart. Okay, a lot of this stuff. Let me show it real quick. A lot of this stuff, a lot of these lines are old. This chart is like 2 years old, and it updates itself. But my uh, my my Fibonacci panels and lines and support and resistance. I drew this stuff like 2 years ago. Like all these lines are support lines are all like 2 years old. Okay, and so I found out that Bitcoin follows uh, the Fibonacci lines very very closely. So word to the wise. So if you're gonna follow Bitcoin, I say get you a good Fibonacci chart, and use what's it called? Some Gann angles and some fans, and use a couple some fans like that to actually enhance your work, especially for trending. It follows this very very well. But let's look at the chart real quick, okay? See, we'll tell you what I'm talking about, okay? Um, Basically, um, everything was fine in February until what happened? China started locking down Wuhan, right? So you got this downward slope, and then China decided it was going to take the whole economy offline, right? And that's where you got this collapse right here. And Bitcoin dropped all the way down to like 3,800. I think it was 3,800, way down here. And people said it was going to go lower. I said according to my chart, if people had this chart, this is a buy. When it got down here, it's a buy, right? This is your buy zone, right? Uh, and if it gets on here, it's oversold. And it very rarely gets down here. But anytime it's gotten down here, it always tended to go back up because it's oversold. And I said it was a buy because one, because of the chart, two, because of the circumstances under. In other words, China is the biggest user of Bitcoin. And when the country goes on lock, it's not being traded anymore. That's how come you have the collapse. But once it opens back up, which is right around in here, guess what happened? It went from like 3,800 to like almost 10,000, where it actually did peak out at 10,000. So if you had invested your money, you made like 3 times your money. But the thing is, sometimes you have to look at the chart. And sometimes you have to look at the fundamentals. And so when I say, do your own homework, do your own homework. That's what I mean. So it's not that I'm just telling you what I think. I actually show you what I think. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to, if you want to actually shoot your shot at like penny stocks, which small coins are, as penny stocks, you gotta use it the right way. Yeah. I mean, if you're in it early and willing to do it the right way under the right conditions, you can make money off of almost anything, right? Almost anything. I don't know. He asked me. I was on Kendra's panel, And he asked me, was I going to do a show with him? I said, I'll see you in an hour. And basically he should have shown up. I don't think he really wants to show up. I thought it was up there. I'll have to look for it. I'll unlock it and I'll put it in a playlist somewhere. Yeah, they are the top donor to the WHO now. It used to be the United States. China, I don't. China is one thing you know about China, right? As Jeremy Ryan said, there's three ways to make money in this business: be first, be smarter, or cheat. China does all three. They will cheat, they will be smarter, and they'll be first. By any means necessary. They're very pragmatic about doing things. Yeah, they might be. We don't know until it's actually tested. But it used to be Russia, and now it's probably China, which probably from technology that we developed but just didn't use because we didn't think it was worth anything. So China took it and said we'll develop it and put money behind it, and they can do it because their wages are cheaper. They can do a lot of stuff that we can't because our wages are high. Byron Spencer, how is it a scam? Okay, Bitcoin is a scam. Well, it doesn't matter. So is the stock market. But anyway, you invest in it anyway. If you can make money from it, you make money from it. People use the stuff. Chinese use the stuff to trade. So it is what it is. Paper money is a scam, but you use it anyway, right? They're actually practicing with high energy lasers now. I think the U.S. just did a test. But go to the Black Brain Trust. They probably have something on it already. It's the only way you can knock down a hypersonic missile is with a laser. All economies are Ponzi schemes, right? Your whole banking system is a Ponzi scheme. Fractional reserve banking is a Ponzi scheme. It is what it is. But if you make money from it, the economy can run on it. That's what it runs on. So how do you get out of it? Any economy is a scheme. Okay. Does it work? And we're not gonna argue all this right wing conspiracy bullshit today, man. Right? If you got that stuff, all that old stuff, all the old right wing stuff that goes all the way back to the 70s, man, we don't have to argue it today, right? Yeah, they just tested it off in the Pacific. Flash loans for blockchain trading. It's not it's not making the loans, it's collecting the loans, right? China's having problems with that right now with the loans they made to India. So basically, how do you collect? It's not how do you trust people and collect the money or collect your interest? So you have to have people on the ground to do that. I didn't see who made it or who's involved with creating it. It's kind of hard to say, but I saw the article on them testing it. Now, how it works or whether it's real, I don't know. Okay, the video I saw didn't look real to me. It could be still in progress. They're just lying about it. All these currency experts show up at the last second. Yeah, you say that, Sam Cooley. If that was the case, Argentina would have paid up like 50 years ago. How come they haven't? Everybody owes a bunch of loans to China, the money to China. There's been a currency imbalance with China for the last, I would say, 30 years. I'm glad it's Rodeo Drive instead of Crenshaw. Last time we had a riot, Rodeo Drive was actually protected. This time, I guess they don't have protection. It really is eat the rich. So I'm not unhappy about Rodeo Drive. It might, or it might accelerate things. It's hard to say. We've been globalized already, so it's a natural progression. It's not a flawed concept. It's a natural extension of what has already gone before. What's the next step after national, after block trading or block trading blocks, right? Global blocks, a global trade, which has been around since I would say what 1980s in some phase, some shape, form, or fashion. And the internet just enhanced that. So you can't go back. You can only go forward. Go back. If you got, well, they let them discuss it, man. Let them chase their own tails. It's in the literature, man. Read the book on China by um what's his name? Kissinger. That's a good start. Well, well, targeting is always going to be a problem. Hey, Marcus, what's up? Why do you want me to drop the StreamYard link, Nicholas? Well, my other account is blocked. So who are you? Oh, you MB? Okay. Email me MB. Otherwise, you get a whole lot of people up here. In fact, fuck it. This is for MB. He finally showed. He finally. I told you he would show up like when the stream got going. I probably know why you got blocked. I probably know why you got blocked. You probably know why you got blocked. That's why you followed me over there to Kendra's. I have screenshots too. Okay. Tequila, Patron Grande. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Dude.
Can you hear me?
Oh my God, man. You blow my ears out.
Okay, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Dude.
Turn off YouTube.
Blow my ears out.
Turn off YouTube.
Turn off.
Oh, technology. Technology, motherfucker, can you use it? Jesus, okay. Are you ready?
Am I coming through good now?
Did you mute YouTube?
You're coming through really bad. But
Can
can
you
you
hear
hear me
me?
well?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's your time. It's late, but it's your time.
Hold on, give me a second.
Oh my
Okay, I'm gonna
goodness.
switch over to my phone because my computer is.
However you want to do it,
Let me
man.
see here. Hold on, I'm gonna
I'm
switch
the
to my
one
phone.
supposed. I'm the
Can you
one
hear me?
I'm supposed to be technically illiterate. I'm 60 years old, man. Not
You
you.
sound really choppy, dude. Let me. I'm gonna use my phone instead of. I'm working at a hotel, so might be getting a. Let me.
All right.
See.
This is hilarious.
Let me see.
This is my Obama phone. uh, oh God. All right. Let me mute him for a second. He'll get it together. Oh man. All right. Hey. What's up, Valdez? All right.
All right, cool. Yeah, my hotel internet bootleg, so I'm on my phone now. All right. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
from the last chat, the main thing I was just trying to say was that the COVID thing is being overhyped, and it's being overhyped for a corporate and government takeover of people. It's a changing of the guards. They're changing to a new system, and it's part of that transition. When we were talking about, we're going to a I forgot the label that you guys had for it. I think you guys called it like the fourth industrial revolution or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
But you started that
But
transition. You started that transition in
but this is part
2014.
of it.
Well, how so?
Well, because the thing is, the economy was already teetering on the edge of a bond market collapse,
Mm-hmm.
and the stock market had already started trying to crash in 2018 until Trump had met with the banks, and they decided to stop raising interest rates, because you don't
Mm-hmm.
raise interest rates when the economy is doing bad. You raise them when it's doing well, and you want to slow it down.
Okay, well, that's your understanding of, but go ahead.
Okay, and so basically, my contention is that they saw this economic stuff happening, and
Mm-hmm.
they decided to use this COVID scare as a reason to shut down the world economies and also
Mm-hmm.
test surveillance technology so they could transition us into this new economy we're going into. Even, you know what I mean? Like, this is one of the steps. For example, with 9/11,
What
we
was
got
that?
Patriot Act 1, 2, and 3 after that major crisis. After this crisis, they're trying to move us in the direction of a new economy. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my point of view on it.
That's your point of view. Okay, so back it up.
Okay.
Why would they use this to start a new economy?
Why would they use this?
Mm-hmm.
Because it scares people.
Okay,
It's a
so,
it's a
so,
worldwide thing that they can use to scare the crap out of people, and people will obey when they're under fear of death. When people obey, you got them under your control. They will do what you need them to do.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, and now you got them under control. You're going to do what?
We're going to pass that. They passed a bill where they basically bailed out a bunch of corporations. You start buying bonds of corporations, which were going to fail, which they've started doing. They started buying corporate bonds,
So what's
and
different?
then you introduce
Oh,
a digital dollar,
okay, you've had a digital dollar.
and you crush the
Oh, no, no,
small
whoa, 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 whoa,
businesses.
whoa, 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 whoa. One concept at a time. One concept at a time. Do you know about M1, M2, M3?
Yeah,
You
different
do?
parts of the money supply.
Parts of the money
Yeah,
supply, right? How much physical cash is in the money supply?
a lot less than there is of the money that they have on the books.
No, give me did you research this?
I don't have the number off the top of my head of the
Give me give me a
physical money supply.
give me a ballpark
Probably
guess.
10% of the whole supply, maybe 10 to 15% of the whole supply.
4%.
Yeah, I know it's tiny.
It's tiny. So what are the rest of the what's the other 96%?
U.S. Treasury bills
Nope,
and
nope. What's the other?
checking deposits,
Nope. Checking
and
deposits are part of the part of the M2, right? Okay. What do you
yeah,
use on a
part of
daily
the checking
basis?
deposits.
What do you use on a daily basis to buy and exchange goods?
Cash and checking,
No, you don't. What do you use?
debit cards, cash
Debit
checking.
card. Debit cards. Debit cards are what?
It's a debit card. I know what you're leading towards. The thing is, they're trying to make a crypto-based U.S. digital dollar, not the same one we have, not the checking
It's
account that we have
it
now.
do- it
When you
doesn't
use a
matter.
debit card, it's
It
not
does
crypto. They're
it
using your
doesn't
checking
matter.
account balance.
It doesn't matter.
Yes,
It's
it
still
does.
it's how does it
Because they
what's
want to
the
get.
what's the difference between a crypto and a digital dollar?
One uses the blockchain.
That's the only difference. Well,
And
functionally,
proof
what is
of work. One uses blockchain. There's
what
different
what
things like proof of
what
work
what
and
what
proof
what
of stake. And you
what
don't need that for the other money.
what
You
what
don't
what
need.
what is the difference between a digital dollar that they control and a blockchain that they control? What's the difference?
I don't know.
There is no difference. They're electronic. You already have a digital dollar. It's already digital. It's 96% digital. That's how come the Fed can actually issue $2 trillion in a heartbeat. It's not physical currency. It's digital, right?
They're trying to get rid of the physical currency.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're
There were
not.
because after this whole thing started, they were saying, "Oh, are the physical bills transmitting the coronavirus? Do we need a new digital dollar?" They started putting out stories like that
They
in mainstream media.
they don't need to do that. All they have to do is get rid of it. They can do that without a COVID-19. Who issues the money?
The Treasury Department.
What if they stop issuing the money?
People use greenbacks,
They,
gold and silver, and
no,
barter.
even with gold and silver are very hard to use in the marketplace. If you know anything about gold and silver, you can't
True.
you cannot walk into a grocery store and use your gold coin, can you?
I mean, but you can have a private something with somebody else. All I'm trying to say is this:
Can
corporations are trying to strip away the last
can
vestiges.
300 million people use gold coins to buy and trade?
They could use silver, and they could use cash.
Can 300 million people use gold and silver to buy and trade?
Yes.
No, they can't.
Yes, you can.
No, how?
You write paper notes against it.
Then you're back to fiat currency.
Or counting not. Well, yeah.
Which the reason they got rid of the gold system in the first place?
Yeah, so they could print money.
No.
NIL.
You know what a gold system is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a system where your bills are able to be converted into gold. You can,
and
you
convert
go to
it
the
in
bank
gold.
and say,
Okay.
yeah, and they had a silver dollar. You can go to the bank and say, here, I got a
And
silver.
so what? But that's the basis of it. But what? How does it function when you overextend? You don't have any gold. What do you have to do?
fractional. You
No,
base your bill
no,
off of fractional.
no,
You make promises.
no,
That's what the banks have been doing. They
no,
print off more
no,
money than they have in value.
no. That's not a good. But
Yes.
that's not a gold system.
Oh, for gold system?
Yeah. So what I asked you, you don't know exactly. Yeah,
If you run out of gold, I guess you just do promises or you loan the gold
No,
out at an
you
interest rate.
basically get loans. You basically retract your economy. You go. It's called austerity measures, right?
Exactly. That's why the U.S. government got off of the gold
No,
standard, so they wouldn't have to do austerity, so we could fund our military
no,
budget
this,
ad infinitum
no. You don't- go
and
back,
welfare programs.
go back and read the history of the 1971 gold. Why he got off the gold standard. Go read the book "Gold Dollars and Power." They expressly say why
The
they got off the gold
U.S.
standard.
got off the standard so we could print off money
No,
with no
that's not.
backing.
No,
And that way
no,
we came up with the petrodollar
no,
so we could
no,
control the
no,
global
no,
trade
no,
currency
no,
because gold would limit
no,
us.
no,
No is not an
no,
answer.
no. I'm telling you
No.
the answer.
I'm telling you the answer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So who forced the United States off the gold standard?
Nobody forced us. We
Yes,
decided
they
to.
did. Yes, they.
We
No,
got
they
off
did.
of it ourselves.
No, we
the rest
didn't.
of the world trusted us
we
with the
were
gold
forced
standard,
off the gold standard. Go
and
back
we
and
got
read it.
off
Go
of it
back
because
and
they
read
couldn't
it.
stop us.
Go back and read it. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We got
Go
off
back
the
and,
gold
go
standard
back and
because
read
the
it.
rest of the
You
world
don't know what you're
couldn't
talking
stop
about.
us
Go
from
back and
doing
read it. Go
You
back
don't know
and
what
read
you're
it.
talking
Go
about,
back
Brandon.
and read it. Go back and read it. You don't know what
You
you're
know what I'm
talking about.
The
I
debt
do.
allows the
Go back
government
and
to
read
print
it.
off money.
Go
That's
back
why
and
we
read
got
it.
off of that system.
Go back and read it. Why you
You
think?
understand that, right?
Huh? So what?
You understand that once we get off the gold standard, we can print as much money as we want to print.
No, you can't.
You understand that, don't
No,
you?
you can't.
That's what we've been doing.
No, you can't print as much money as you want.
That's why they just
No,
borrow,
you
borrow,
can't.
borrow.
No, you can't print as much money as you want.
That's what we've been doing. Where do you think they're getting this money from?
You can't. You have a trade system. Why do you think the forex exists? So you can't do that. Yes, you can't print as much money. No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You print off, and here's what happens. When you print off an extra dollar beyond what you can actually back with any real value, the value goes down of that dollar because you don't have the backing for it. That's why the U.S. currency has been falling since 1913. The currencies that's why your dollar today is not going to buy as much as a dollar tomorrow because they keep printing them off. It's debt.
Okay.
And they printed them beyond what they can back. So the value of it.
You don't know anything about a gold standard, man.
Did you hear what I just said?
I heard what you just said. What you just said is bullshit.
I know about fiat.
No, you don't. 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 You don't know anything about it. Have no clue about it.
Why are you saying we get off the gold standard?
You're forced off the gold standard by France, right? Because the United States had a gold dollar system, right? The Bretton Woods system, the dollar system, was supposed to be converted from what is it, $35 to an ounce of gold. Okay, you had more gold than anybody else on the planet because of two world wars. Okay, so they decided that the United States would be just like the British pound would be the bearer of the gold standard. In other words, the dollar would be as good as gold.
Yeah, 1948 Bretton Woods.
Oh, you do know about that, right? Okay.
I know some things about it. I don't know everything about
it. Well, then you don't know. Then you don't know anything about it.
And I'm telling you stuff that you
No,
don't
you
know.
I
because
know.
you don't know what I know. Does that mean you don't know anything about it?
What you have said is bullshit.
No,
so
it's
far.
not.
Yes, it is.
What you're saying is the version of the story.
No, it's not a version
the
of
government tells the people.
It's not go back and look at it. Read it. Go back and read it.
Dude, we got up a gold standard so the government could print off as much money as they wanted to.
No, dude.
And not be held accountable.
No, dude. No, it's not true.
You think it was some benevolent thing, some benevolent reason?
No, it's not benevolent. They got forced off the gold standard by France.
They couldn't force us to do anything. We didn't want to
Yes,
pay
they,
them the
yes, they
gold.
can.
We
Yes,
didn't
they
want to
can.
pay
Yes,
them, and
yes,
so
they
we
can.
decided to
Yes,
get
they
off.
exactly. You couldn't pay
And
them.
we wanted to, instead of
You
giving them
couldn't
gold
pay them.
when they demand
How much?
exactly. So we started coming. So we
How
came out with a
how
piece
much?
of paper, an
Okay.
IOU, which was less worth less than the gold that we had because we didn't want to give the gold up. So we went to a gold standard so we could start giving out these paper debt to countries instead of giving out gold and honoring the real dollar. That's why we did it, so we could spread our dollars around and control the world markets, just like we did with our military bases all over the world. It's all part of the same empire. The whole, the U.S. trying to control everything. Like after World War II, how we put bases around the entire world so we can control the world's navies. We did the same thing economically when we started printing off fake money, monopoly money.
The money's not fake. Fiat currency has been around for
You know
5,000.
You know what I mean.
Dude, shut the fuck up for a minute. I'll let you talk.
Okay, look.
I'll let you talk.
Why
I'll let you talk.
So it's me. Shut the fuck up because you what?
I'll let you talk.
Well, you shut the fuck up.
What you're saying is bullshit. Okay.
I'll listen to you. Go ahead.
In other words, we started at 100% of our gold, right? In 1948. By the time we got to 1970, we were down to like 25% of your gold. It was gone. 75% of your gold was gone. Do you go down to zero?
Okay.
Do you go down to zero?
Now we still have some gold.
Do you, if you're put in that position, do you go down to zero?
No.
What do?
You print off bills to promise more than what you have in value.
You do what every other country has.
Because you don't have the gold.
You don't have the gold. What do you have to do if you don't have the gold? You got two choices.
Print off IOUs.
You got two choices. What are they?
Print off IOUs.
You got two choices. What are they under the gold standard? What are they?
You print off IOUs or you give them the gold.
No, you got two choices in a gold standard. What are they? You either put your whole entire economy into a recession or austerity measures, including pulling in your armed forces, pulling in everything else, or you go off the gold standard and go to a fiat based, okay? Which is what they did. They had those are their two choices.
Exactly, because we didn't want to give up our military.
They didn't want to give up their gold, okay? Their last gold. So they found a different way around. So they went to the France did it, the UK did it, Germany did it, a whole lot of countries do it all the time. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they do when their country is collapsing. That's what happened to Rome. They diluted their currency.
What happened to Rome is
what we did.
What happened to Rome, if you go back and read the Roman history, they overexpanded and they decayed. Rome was around. Rome was around for 2,500 years.
We did it a lot more quickly than they did.
And if you add Byzantium, they were around to basically the 1200 BC.
True.
If we're going to talk about it, let's be accurate about why things collapse. Okay. They were just like Germany was in 1914 when they went to war with France. France forced them off the gold standard. France, Napoleon tried to force Britain off the gold standard in 1812. Britain actually started borrowing money under the Federal Reserve System to actually get around that. That is the gold standard. Most people do not understand the gold standard. They hear people talk about it, but they don't actually get their ass and pick up books and research the goddamn thing like I did for like 7 years to understand what the gold standard was and how it works versus a fiat system. You have the Bretton Woods was a semi fiat gold system, right? Because guess what gold systems tend to do? They tend to start wars because when you're out of money, you start taking other people's shit. which is what happened with Germany and France. You had three wars between Germany and France over the goddamn gold system. Which is why when Bretton Woods, they decided to do it differently. They didn't want another world war. So they tried this.
That's because we had destroyed everyone else. We destroyed the competition. Europe had collapsed under the war.
We didn't destroy
Japan
Europe.
was gone.
We
China
didn't destroy. We didn't destroy
No,
Europe.
they destroyed themselves. They were destroyed, and so the only person left to bear the brunt of the U.S. of the world economy was us.
Of
So
course.
they pegged everything to ours because we the only guys left. We had to use the Marshall Plan. We had to rebuild Japan. We rebuilt all of Europe, and in exchange for that, we became, the center of world commerce. And then we started developing an empire. Well, we already had one since the 1890s, but we started developing an empire. And so we put bases all over the world. And in order to pay for all that, we started issuing debt, and we got off the gold standard because we've
had an empire since.
We talked for 10 minutes. It's my turn. I'm just got to finish.
Whoa, Chief.
Well, we don't get the same respect between each other.
Chief, you're on my channel.
Okay, so if you would, so does that mean that I can't finish my sentence?
You interjected just with me too. I'm saying we had a.
I sat there and listened to your.
We have an empire since 1790.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm talking about the Spanish-American War, but you're right. Technically, we have since 1790s. And in order to pay after World War II, in order to pay for all this, since we were the center of world commerce, we decided to get off the gold standard once France put pressure on us to give them the gold back, and we didn't want to do it. We jumped off to the fiat. Or we increased it. We jumped off the gold standard, not to the fiat. I'm sorry. We already had a mixed fiat system with the gold. We completely got out of the gold standard because that allows us to keep our military going and welfare spending. Because we can just keep borrowing and promising.
So why did the rest of the world agree to it?
Because we had the biggest military.
No.
Yes, you're not going to go after World War II and then through the 70s, whatever. They're not going to just challenge. They're not going to just jump out of the U.S. system because just like we did with Gaddafi. When they tried to start trading oil.
No.
Like Gaddafi, like Iran. These are our enemies because they don't want to buy into the U.S. dollar system.
No.
We've been playing the same game for a while. Then Henry Kissinger came up with the petrodollar on top of that.
No.
Because if you don't play in our dollar system,
it's
like the mafia. If you don't allow us to, if you don't take our protection and enter into our racket, then we say, oh, it's a shame your house blew up because we're going to come after you because we have to keep our dollar. Part of keeping our dollar, the strength of the dollar up is to use the U.S. military to force people to buy oil in dollars and to keep people using the U.S. dollar. Saddam tried to get out of buying oil in dollars. Gaddafi did also. The Iranians tried to get out of it, or the Iranians are not in it. Every country that does that, we come and attack them because we try to keep them in our system. And our system is based on the U.S. dollar. And it requires debt to back it up. But that debt has gotten so big now, it's eroded the value of the dollar. And now we're at a huge financial crisis. And they need to do something about it. And in my opinion, it was the COVID that they used and said, because the COVID is not that deadly. It's already out. It's the New York antibody test was saying 15% of people in New York have it. But the thing is, it's not that deadly.
What is not that deadly?
COVID. It's not as deadly.
No. What do you mean? No, define not that deadly.
COVID-19.
Define it.
What I'm saying is, it's not okay. Not that deadly. It's
compared
barely
to
deadlier. It's barely deadlier than the flu.
How is that?
The deaths are also inflated.
How are they inflated?
That's what I mean by.
How are they inflated?
Well, one way is that people are dying from other stuff. Some of them have COVID in their system, which the antibody tests are showing that 14% of people in New York have it in their system already. So people are dying from other things, and these doctors are allowed by CDC guidance to say, okay, he has pneumonia or he has the flu. Well, what I'm saying is if somebody has like the pneumonia or the flu, they can
So
say, okay, this was a COVID death, and they're
so
marking
so
all
so
these
so
other.
so
They're marking a
so
lot of other deaths as
so
COVID.
are you saying, this is a question, are you saying that there's no more people dying than would normally die?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Are you gonna
At
stand
worst
by that?
case scenario, it's a bad flu.
The
So
worst
there may
case.
be a little bit more, but this is not something.
So,
No,
so,
I'm not gonna stand by that 100%. I'm gonna say
so
this. Let me correct what I'm saying before I just
before you
commit
went.
to saying something. Okay, let me say it this way: if
Mm-hmm.
the COVID, if it is deadly, it's
Mm-hmm.
barely deadlier than the flu. If there was a rise in numbers, it is because it's a bad flu season
Mm-hmm.
or,
What
or something akin to that. But this thing is not some
what is a bad
crazy
what is
Ebola-like killer.
what is a bad what is, how many
A bad flu season for the U.S.
dude,
is
no,
around 60, 70,000 deaths.
no, it's actually the worst. A bad season, a disastrous season. What's the worst flu pandemic ever in history?
The 1918 Spanish flu.
Spanish flu. How many people died?
I don't know. It was like 2 million. I don't know.
Between 50 and 100 million people worldwide.
Okay.
That's the flu. Okay. That's just the regular flu. Okay. That's a bad flu. Would that be classified as a plague or a pandemic?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
I don't have the exact name for that. Like, what's the number that they use to decide if it's a plague or a pandemic? I don't know that.
I'm asking you for your opinion.
Oh, my opinion?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a plague.
It's a plague, right? But that's just the flu, right?
Yeah.
That's just the flu. That's 100 million people. Okay. A normal flu kill
worldwide.
Okay, so how about like 700,000 people within a year in the United States?
That we didn't have that many deaths according with COVID.
COVID has been around the United States for officially how long?
Officially, wasn't it like January? No, wasn't it like February?
February, right?
Yep.
And it's killed 100,000 people, right?
100,000 people have been counted as COVID.
The thing is, they've been counted as COVID. How do you know that all the people that died from the flu died from the flu?
I mean, we don't, but we do. We trust the doctor's numbers.
So you trust the doctor numbers as far as the flu, but not when it comes to COVID. Why not?
No.
Why?
Because it became highly politicized, and there's a lot of political incentive to make this thing seem way worse than it is.
Why?
Because it's been highly politicized.
So
so we have an election coming up, and they're on the left. They want to make it look like Donald Trump killed all these people.
So if that's the case, why would Donald Trump, who's in control of all these numbers, publish them? He's in control of this. Why would he publish them?
What I'm saying, they're counting other numbers.
Why he's in control of the numbers? Why would he publish that?
He's not in control of them.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Getting them from the CDC and whatever other
who's in control of the CDC, boss?
He has to take the numbers that they give him.
No, he doesn't.
He's not going to just.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. If he wanted to suppress CDC numbers, he could.
That would be very bold of him, and he would get pointed out very.
So who are these people publishing these numbers to get Donald Trump out of office?
CDC and a lot of people in the medical field. Then
why would they do it? They lose money.
Because it's a political thing. The whole Trump derangement syndrome. People are so ready to just.
Is the CDC
anything? If they get an opportunity to say,
is the CDC federal? Who's the commander in chief over all this shit? All the federal departments? Who do they report to?
As the commander in chief.
Who do they report to?
All I'm saying is the numbers that are being
Who
reported
do they,
from
who
the
do
hospitals on the ground.
who do they report to?
So you really think
Who
that Trump's
who
going to
sir, answer the
change
question.
numbers?
Sir, answer the question. Who do they report to?
I already told you, Trump.
Trump. Why would Trump inflate numbers if it's bad for him?
He didn't inflate the numbers. The CDC did. He did his numbers from them.
Why
He's
would
not on the
Trump
ground collecting all this
why,
data.
if it was
It's coming
bad
from
for
the hospital.
if it was bad for him, why would he allow CDC to inflate the numbers?
Well, dude, that would be ridiculous for him to do that openly. If it was easy for him to do it, he probably would. If
He
it was
could.
easy for him to do it,
He could do it with a touch of a button if he really wanted to.
But to be honest, I think he's part of this whole corporate takeover thing.
So
they started giving out the bailout money. And
so whoa. Now stop jumping. I want to explore this. That's why I had you on.
Okay.
Stop jumping. Okay. You said it's political to get Trump out of office, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying, right? And the numbers are coming from the CDC, right? Yeah. Fauci and CDC and all these people, National Institutes of Health, report to whom?
They report to Trump.
Report to Trump. Why would Trump damage his own image?
He's not.
So who is?
The people in the hospitals who are counting this. They have license from the CDC. They have a if you look at CDC, what is it? They have a guidance that they issue to medical professionals. And they do not have to confirm that a person has COVID. They can just kind of guesstimate if the person has COVID or not.
They can mark down anything that they want on those certificates, right?
Exactly. And there's a lot of incentives.
Hold on.
To make this thing seem
hold on. They can mark out anything they want. Who counts them?
I'm assuming the CDC.
CDC, right? They have to count and publish this stuff, right?
Oh wait, no. According to you, Donald Trump counts them in every.
No. I didn't say that. I said that CDC counts and publishes this stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. And before we see them, he sees them, right?
I don't know. Maybe they go out to the website first.
No, before we see, trust and believe under circumstances like this, before we see them, Donald Trump sees them first.
Okay.
And if he doesn't like it, guess what he's going to do? Start firing people, and everybody knows it.
I think he's playing the game a little bit, because if he just says out and out that the numbers are fudge that he's getting, I don't know, man. I think he would lose a lot of credibility.
So why would he do that?
So he just accepts it
because what?
I don't know. Sometimes he walks the middle line.
Okay, so in other words, if why would he inflate the numbers to make himself look bad?
He didn't inflate them.
Well, you just said why would he allow them to? Why would he allow them to inflate the numbers? It's going to make him look bad.
He can't just make up numbers out of his head. He has to take those numbers. You know what I'm saying? He has to take the numbers that CDC gives him. Like for example, the CIA briefs the president on everything. State Department.
Mm-hmm.
He can't just make up stuff just because he doesn't like it.
Sure, he can. We made up weapons of mass. We made up WMDs, did we not? On air.
The State Department.
No, that was Bush.
That wasn't just the president by himself. That was the whole deep state working with that.
That was Bush. Okay. He gets the the buck stops with him.
There's only so much they can do. Like there's certain things that,
like what?
You know how it is. Trump can't do whatever he wants.
He has control over the CDC. If he doesn't want to publish, it's not going to get published. He don't have to publish them at all. He can just stop it.
And what would happen if he just didn't? What if he didn't
You
post
wouldn't
any
you
numbers
wouldn't
on
get, you
COVID?
wouldn't get the information till the end of the year, just like the flu.
You think they would allow? You think the people would allow that? Or
What can they do?
But that's not realistic. That he would just
Why not?
change all the numbers.
I didn't say change the numbers. I'm saying you're saying that the numbers are inflated. They're not real. Okay.
Yeah.
And Trump could, if they're not real, Trump could literally just tell the truth, right?
How would he?
It's
He's
easy.
getting his data from the CDC. That's all the information he has.
He's got the NSA, he's got the FBI, he's got the CIA, have all these people.
Here's the thing: it goes back into the larger picture.
They can collect data. They can collect the data.
It goes back into a larger picture, though.
What is that? You think
Trump's playing both sides, bro? I really think Trump is playing both sides.
How?
Here's how. Okay, 2018, stock market starting collapsing. He met with the top 5 banks and his Treasury Secretary.
And had nothing to do with the stock market. But go ahead.
To stop changing it because
it had nothing to do with it. Had nothing.
They decided to change.
It had nothing to do with the stock. It had nothing to do with the stock market.
I'm explaining to you. They were trying to raise interest rates, and then the stock market responded to it by just cratering in December 2018. That's not what happens in a strong economy. The economy wasn't as strong as they were pretending. If they were saying it was, Trump's main claim to fame was the economy.
It had nothing to do with the economy.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
Wait, I'm talking about the stock market.
Yes, it did. Why did they stop? Why did they stop raising interest rates? What do you think?
Because the stock market responded to it by cratering.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Did you read? Yes. Do you read, man?
Do you read?
Yes, I do. I'm asking you.
Why then? Why did the stock market start cratering?
It's because the same reason you went to zero interest rates in the first place, to save the banks.
Why did it? What caused the stock market to crash? To save the banks? That doesn't make any sense. Why did the stock market crash?
You asked me why did they stop raising interest rate? It had nothing to do with the stock market. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me.
No, it did have something to do with.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it
because
didn't.
when the Fed came out and said we're going to raise interest rates, the market responded by falling because they knew that money was going to be tight.
No,
that's what that means.
No,
because the debt market was dry up.
They
said, okay, we're not going to.
Okay, dude. All right, man. Okay, you're talking about stuff that the reason I stopped doing this. The reason I stopped doing this stuff is because people spout off stuff that they heard and never researched.
I'm not spouting off anything.
Yes, you are. You are spouting it. You're spouting it off.
Wrong. I'm not spouting off anything.
You are spouting off.
Anybody can look up what I'm
saying. You can look it. You can look it up. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it. Why do you go to zero interest rate? Why do you go to ZIRP in the first place? Why did you go to ZIRP in the first place?
Stimulate the economy.
No. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Well, you tell me why then.
In other words, how do banks make money?
Oh, by loaning.
By loaning, right? Where did they get the money from? The difference
Federal Reserve
between the feds and the loans that they make, right?
And deposits from people.
No, and loans that they make between the Fed interest rate and the loans that they make, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did they need to make money in the first place? The banks. What do you think?
What do you mean? Why did they need to make?
Why did they need to make money? No. Why did they need to make money? Okay. Do you know anything about fractional reserve banking?
Yeah.
Okay. In other words, you're supposed to have a certain fraction of the money that is supposed to be saved as reserve, right? What's that fraction supposed to be?
It changed. It just changed again.
What is it supposed to be?
What is I don't know what the exact number is now, but
it's supposed to be between 8 and 12 to 1. Okay. What it was it after 2008? What was it? What was most like 99% of your banks? What was their fractional reserve rate?
The Fed funds rate?
No, fractional reserve rate. Stay with me, bro.
Oh, I don't know.
30 to 1.
Okay.
How do you get them down to a reasonable rate, which is 12 to 1, or even better, 8 to 1? How do you do that?
You allow them to you allow them to loan out more money than what
Yeah,
their reserves are.
you allow them to make money to bring their reserves up, right, and lower the differential, right? You can't do that if it's at 8%. So you whittle it down to 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is 0, right? ZERP, right? That's why they talk about going negative in Europe. Why are you doing
Yeah, you're
that?
talking about that, right?
To save the
Well, effectively, they are now.
to
If you
to
factor in
save
inflation, they are.
to save your banking system, which is why why he had to stop raising rates.
Yes, that's what I said.
No, you said to save the stock market. The stock market is not the banking system.
No, I said that was. Well, he's doing it because if he saves the banking system, it'll make the stock market go up
Yeah,
and make him look good.
stock market has nothing to do with it.
No. You're telling me the stock market has nothing to do with the interest rates with the Fed funds rate? Is that what you're saying?
No.
The stock market was the big thing that Trump was saying. Oh, look how great I am! I boosted the stock market. When it started to fall,
that's what you stop
he
listening.
made sure that they
Stop listening to Fox News. Okay, and do your research.
I listen to all news. You do your research and stop
No,
staying.
I read, motherfucker. Do you do it?
Yeah, and I'm telling you right
now. You're telling me bullshit, man. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they did not. No, they did not. Go back and read it.
You go back and read. I already know what happened.
No, you don't.
I know what happened.
No, you don't.
Yes,
go back and read it. No, you don't, man. You know what, man?
I just told you.
You're wasting my time. You're wasting my time, man. You're wasting my time. You don't know anything. You're wasting my time.
Dude, you're just angry. That's it.
You're wasting my time, man.
You're just angry.
You're wasting my time, man. You don't know anything.
Angry.
Go back and look at it.
You don't know anything. I just
you're high on whatever it is, whatever speed you're on.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
So now you're going from
you're high. 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 You call me angry. I called you high. Do you like that?
Because you're here and you're angry.
And you're high.
And you were saying,
you're high.
Oh, I'm done with
you. You're
high.
I'm done with you. You're high. Because you keep giving me bullshit, man.
I'm not giving you bullshit.
You are giving me bullshit.
Answers.
No, you're not giving. You're giving me bullshit. You're giving me bullshit.
Challenge you, and so you're saying what I'm saying is bullshit.
You go back and read it.
I'm not spewing bullshit. Dude.
Go back and read it.
You read it. I know.
I did read it. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. I know why they changed the interest rates. Why they changed the interest rate in Europe? Because of the stock market.
They changed interest rates so that the banks can borrow more from the Fed, so that they can circulate that money, that fiat, through the system to keep the economy from falling.
What happens when the banks lock up, man? And you can't trade, and you can't.
That's why they started
liquidity crisis.
That started in 20.
Liquidity
That's what
crisis.
happened in 2019, September 2019.
Liquidity
started locking up, and they started the repo process.
Liquidity crisis started in 2018.
Yeah, and then the bank repo started in 2019.
Repo started in 2019, but you can't do that if you raise interest rates.
So they knew the economy was going.
It had nothing to do with the economy.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Tell me the banks.
No.
You're trying to tell me saving banks has nothing to do with the economy. Is that what you're saying?
It had nothing to do with the economy.
That makes no sense at all.
It has nothing to do with
the part of the economy. They are the backbone of the economy.
If they wanted, they would pump money into the economy rather than into the banks.
That's how you do it. You do it through the banks because the banks spread it throughout the economy because the corporations are borrowing from the banks.
Dude. Oh, you're angry, dude, because you're wrong. You're so angry.
I'm not angry.
You are angry. Listen at you. Yes, you are. You're angry.
Right.
You're angry. You're angry. No, you don't.
I know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, you don't.
The banks borrow from the Federal Reserve, and then the corporations borrow from investment banks to get their money from banks.
How do the banks make money?
By loaning out money.
So if their balance sheets are extremely off kilter, they have to bring their reserves up. How do they gather reserves?
No,
they don't. by loaning the money out to bond holders, to junk bonds, stock
Where do they get that
market.
money that they loan out?
It's digital. It's on the credit
Where
card.
does it come from?
So what?
You. Anyways, I mean, with the whole COVID thing, I mean, is there anything else you want to ask me about my perspective on it, or? I mean, like, I realize we're going in circles, and I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't want to just keep going circles and circles because I mean, it's a waste of both of our time. So is there anything else you want to?
I don't even know where you're going with this, man. I asked you about why you would inflate, why Trump would inflate numbers. You basically you said inflating because make Trump look bad. Trump is in control of the CDC.
I said the CDC inflated those numbers. Well, not CDC, but the hospitals they're reporting to the CDC.
Who counts it?
Those numbers and he reports them.
So how do you get inflated?
People in the hospital overcounting deaths due to COVID as COVID.
How do they overcount? People not going to the hospital. How do they overcount?
People are going to the hospital.
No, they're not. The hospitals are empty as far as regular patients.
They're counting pneumonia and flu people as COVID.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. I talked to a whole bunch of people that turned out had flu-like symptoms, pneumonia, and they tested them and they weren't COVID. They turned up negative.
But they sent them home. The CDC guidance allows them not to even confirm that they have COVID or not. You can mark them down as COVID without it having to be COVID, man.
So why would you do that?
Because you're scared, and because of two reasons. Because you're scared and you want to err on the side of caution just in case, because you don't know, right? And on top of that, the political stuff. People are like, doctors and everything. If you can't speak out against it if you're in the medical profession because they probably try to kick you out or say you're going against the narrative. So let
me ask you. You can't have a run-on sentence. Let me ask you this. So if the same amount of people are dying, it's just changing the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be any bodies that show up, right?
No, the bodies are bodies of people that die from other stuff. I'm not saying that COVID's not killing anyone. I'm saying that numbers are inflated. It's killing people with pre-existing conditions because they're dying from other shit, and then the COVID just makes it worse.
So if you
say if you already have,
okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question,
yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If somebody catches the flu, but they're on like chemotherapy, right? What are you doing, man? With all that noise?
Ask your question.
No, I'm saying, what are you doing with all that noise? I'm getting all this.
I'm saying, ask your question.
No, dude. I asked you a question. You're making a lot of noise in the background. What are you doing?
That's besides the point.
No, dude. The noise is in my.
Matter? Why are you trying to sidetrack?
Dude. Listen to me for a second. Dude. I asked you a question. The thing is, you're making a lot of noise in my ear. Can I ask the question? What the fuck you doing?
What are you talking about?
What am I? You can't hear the noise? What are you doing? You're doing something. What's all that? that? You got a bad connection or what?
It must be.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming. Yeah, I hear it too. I hear that.
Okay.
It might be the connection.
Huh?
It's probably connection or something. I heard the crackling.
And that's what I was asking about.
Like electronic crackling.
That's what I was asking about. But the thing is, the thing is, I've talked to people on the ground that got sent home because of a negative test and died. Okay. So everybody that they're actually testing people for COVID. In fact, I talked to Supertrish, who's a nurse, a person died of pneumonia. And they did the scans and it didn't look right. So they went back and tested after, even though he didn't test positive for COVID, and actually went and did an autopsy. Guess what they found? He had COVID.
But everybody who's being labeled the COVID death has not been tested for it.
So in other words, if the normal pattern of deaths are the same, you shouldn't see a spike, right?
Not much more than a normal flu season.
No more flu season.
Not
Well, we're
much
not. Are we in a flu season? Number one.
Right now, no, it died down. The flu season died down.
Flu season died down. Your flu season ends in what? In March, right?
Around then, yeah.
So why would you see a spike in April, May, in April and May after flu season?
That's the counting of things as COVID. They're counting. They're taking other people dying from other things, and and some of those people, a lot of those people haven't even been tested to see if they have COVID or not, and they're marking them down as COVID because they believe they died from COVID.
So what are they dying from?
And they didn't test it. Pneumonia, flu, a whole bunch of other. Just sick people everywhere. There's a lot of sick people. Heart attacks.
So in other words, so you have this big ass.
Stuff.
So you have this big ass spike. You have this big ass spike, right?
In COVID.
No, you have this. No, just deaths. Period.
Is that the case? Of just deaths. Period.
Deaths. Period. Yeah. In fact, let me. No, I actually posted this earlier today. I've posted this before, right? More stuff like that. Okay, that is your normal pattern, right? Right there. That's your normal pattern. That's the normal pattern down here. Okay, in deaths, right? Of anything, right? That's a spike. Nobody can explain. Dude, God, oh Jesus Christ! What you got a headset that's bad or something, man?
No, I'm not even on a headset right now.
What is going on, man? Jesus Christ! Ooh, sounds like eating Cracker Jack. Yeah, it sounds like eating Cracker Jacks. Can everybody else hear that?
I hear that. That's like an electronic sound.
It says sounds like you're typing.
I'm not typing right now. I'm standing up in the middle of my room with my phone.
Okay, are you walking around?
I'm standing right here.
Oh God damn! What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Jesus Christ! It's getting worse.
You have an electronics issue?
Okay, when I mute you, it stops. Okay, everybody else can hear me. When I mute you, it stops.
I heard you when you were talking. It came over, crackled over on your voice. It came over on your voice. It's cracking. It's like electronic crackle sound.
Dude, basically, it stopped on my end. Everybody else said it stopped.
It happens every time you do. I mean, I don't know what.
Anyway, it stopped. Okay, you got mic problems. You got mic problems. I don't know what's going on, but stand still. Okay.
I mean, I'm good.
But that people cannot explain. You have a spike. Okay. Nobody can get around that. The deaths are the deaths. Okay. The mass graves are the mass graves, not just here under the CDC, but all over the world. Okay. The CDC does not exist in Brazil or Ecuador or France or Italy. Okay. It's not because of politics where they are. Is
I'm
it?
on a tiny
Russia?
Phone. I'm on my phone. I want to see that same chart, but I don't want to pull YouTube up on my laptop because it'll mess up the sound. What's a good way for me to see that chart? How can I put that chart
I'll share it. I'll share it. You can see it. If you can see me, you can see the chart.
I mean, I'm on a computer. I'm on a phone screen though. It's like okay, WashingtonPost.com. .com/
I'll post the link. I'll post the link in the chat. Okay. I got tons of this stuff, man. It's not the first time I posted it. I can't post it in the chat. I can post it in the back chat. The link is too big.
Yeah, just send the link in the chat. I'll
post it in the back chat. Post it in private chat because it's too big for the YouTube.
Oh, it's in the private chat?
You put it in private chat. YouTube won't accept it and this is not the first one, man. Let's go back a little bit. Oh, this is irritating, but we'll deal with it. That is irritating.
Okay.
Let's see. There's that one. Well, that's from the same. That's from the same article. This is the Washington Post. We're not even talking about the New York Times. Or let's see. Let's dive into more of them, because I post this to actually troll people. Ah, this is a good one. Scientists say coronavirus says some states are censoring them. They're undercounting. That's a good one. Oldie but goodie. Let's see. Let's look for charts, because I like to post charts. This is one from Florida. More deaths than expected from coronavirus. This is normal. This is corona. You have a spike since March. Let's keep going. I love to troll detractors. That's how I troll people. Troll detractors. Let's see more charts. Ah, this is a good one. This is from. This is actually from. This is actually. I do believe this is from The Economist. This is like 64 countries where you see these spikes, not just United States. Yeah. Well, they're deaths.
That's
They're
total
all
deaths.
deaths of all types. Total deaths
That's total deaths of all types.
of all types.
Can you
Yeah,
send me
you see
that
a
link?
spike. That's a normal. That's
Or
a normal
put
pattern.
that link in the put that link in the chat so I can look at it, because I can't read those tiny numbers on the. I can't.
All right. You don't have to. I will put them in the comments section, because I didn't put the link with that one. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So in other words, so you can look at it. Okay. This is me proving it to you. Okay. I see what else. These are just excess death charts. These are not all the other stuff. Okay.
If I can see, if I can see them excess death charts, I can concede that to you. I can see that to you.
This is from this is excess deaths in New York City. Okay.
I'm looking at the chat.
This is
them in there.
This is from CBS News. This is a couple of weeks ago. Okay.
The number of confirmed and probable COVID deaths and total estimated excess deaths.
And this is a normal pattern, right? These are excess deaths. Okay. All this is all above that blue line is excess deaths, right?
Okay.
Right.
Is that supposed to be COVID? Okay.
No, it's not. It doesn't matter, does it? These are excess deaths. You can attribute them to whatever you want. It's not the point. Is it COVID? It doesn't matter whether it's COVID or not.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Number of laboratory confirmed. I'll dig into the excess death stuff, and if it shows that if that's where it's at, that's where it's at. I'll concede that to you. I'm not trying to.
I got tons of them. Okay, excess deaths. This is from Business Insider. Excess deaths. I say, let me see. Let me dig up some more. I know I posted. I didn't post all the charts. This is just stuff that I posted.
Where is that? Oh, posted in the community. Okay, I'll go there and look at it.
This is just stuff that I posted. You can go back to my community tab and find all this stuff.
Let me go over there
and see. And see. Let's see if we can find some more. That's kids deaths. That's excess deaths from CBS. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. What else do we have? This is by age group. COVID deaths. Average health.
See,
What else we got? This is the virus jump. This proves that COVID came out of a lab. Here's one. Here's a good one. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. These are this is actually a list of all deaths by category. So they were counting deaths.
So are you seeing a whole bunch of extra death around you?
Around me,
Like just
in Los
in
Angeles,
general, like do you just see mass death? You know what I'm saying? Like,
basically,
okay,
basically,
I'm looking at this, more deaths than expected in Florida. Okay, we got a difference of, at the height, it's 200 people. It's a 200 people difference.
it's over a couple of months, right out of your normal pattern. We're not even talking about
This
New
is
York.
at April, 200 extra people.
We're not even talking about New York or
Okay.
other places, right? New York. I heard
200
about
extra people out of 4,000. And what I was saying is COVID's not as deadly as we thought.
okay.
And so for April, normally they would have, let's see here, 3,900 deaths. You got 4,200. That's 300 people. That's not a big massacre. That's not a huge.
That's Florida. Is Florida one of the hardest hit states?
Yeah, and there's only 300 extra people. Then normally
is Florida the hardest hit state? Where the hardest hit state? New York City. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the one in New York City.
I'm looking at this more than deaths than expected. What you're showing me on your page. Okay, it was expected. The top half of the highest range for. Okay, let's take the highest range 3,900 in April, at the beginning of April, and the amount of deaths that the actual amount of deaths was 4,200. That's 300 extra people. That is not a plague.
So they're inflating the numbers in Florida.
Yeah, I think there are people dying from COVID. And
no, are they inflating? Are they inflating are they inflating the numbers? Is that it? Does it look like they're inflating the numbers by publishing that?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah,
and Florida's not hard.
And how about the thing? And the 300 deaths and normal is 3,900.
How do you explain this?
That's a less than 10% increase.
How do you explain that? 10% is a lot, dude. 10% is a lot in a short time.
Yeah, I didn't say that COVID wasn't killing people. I said it's not as bad as they're making it out.
What is bad?
Exaggerating it.
What is bad?
I don't know. I don't have an exact number for that, but what the numbers we're seeing, even, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, then just the numbers just aren't that bad, and I know that.
So and basically this is
freaking out over it.
This 100,000 people in a lockdown in a lockdown situation is bad, dude.
It's been here since November. And we officially was here since February, but we were talking about it earlier. It's been here since November.
So when did
100,000 people, and that's an inflated number.
When did the spike start?
It's still not a lot of people.
You haven't proved that
we had 70,000 people die.
You haven't
100,000 people is not a lot of people.
You haven't proved that it's inflated. Okay. You haven't proved that it's inflated.
We have 340 million people here. 100,000 people dying, and a bunch of those may not have been COVID because they're allowing people to count. How do you know?
How do you know? They're not even counting all the deaths as COVID.
And they're not even counting all the people that already have it, and it's not.
They're not counting all the deaths as COVID.
They're overhyping the fear associated with this.
How are they overhyping the fear?
Because they're exaggerating the numbers by allowing them to count non-COVID deaths.
How do you know?
Based on a hunch.
On a hunch.
CDC allowed them to do that.
Prove it.
It's called the. Give me a second. Bring this up.
So why are them? Why? Look at all these bodies in New York, man. Look at all them bodies.
Yep.
The bodies
How
are
many people
showing
died in New York? Wasn't it like 20-something thousand or 30,000?
30,000 in New York. And basically, the official number is from the CDC is 24,000, right? From the CDC.
Yeah,
Can
that's
I
a quarter
can I
of the
can I
all
finish can I finish my thought?
Sorry,
Okay. The New York says it's 29,000, and there's 5,000 that's undetermined. Okay. You're talking about 35,000 people in New York that have died in a matter of 3 months. In one 35,000 in New York.
COVID. Some of those had other conditions, and it was marked as COVID. And some of those had COVID, and they died from something else, and they marked it as COVID as the cause.
So in other words,
heart attack or something else.
Which is something I was going to say with the flu. Okay, say you were on chemotherapy.
Okay.
You have an underlying condition, right? Or cancer, whatever it is, right? You catch the flu, get pneumonia, you die. What do they mark it as?
I don't know.
Flu.
What would it be?
Flu.
Okay.
What's the underlying condition that exposed them to dying from the flu?
Cancer.
Cancer. How come they mark it as cancer?
Exactly. And what I'm saying is, in that scenario,
how come they didn't mark them as cancer?
Because that wasn't the final cause of their death.
But it's the underlying condition. So if they catch COVID, have an underlying condition, and COVID damages your heart valves, your kidneys, or your lungs,
it's not that deadly because there's tons of people getting COVID and not dying. They said 14% of New York has it already. If 30,000 people, this is with their numbers, they said 30,000 people died, and 15 million people, or not 15% of New York already has it, which is 1.some million people already.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a massive plague to the point of where you have to shut down the whole country.
How do you know? But basically, how do you know with what they were working with? And basically, how long were we actually shut down, man? Really, think about it.
How long was what?
How long were we actually shut down?
Since like mid-March, late March, right? The end of March.
Late March to what? To the end of April, right?
They started opening up the beginning of May.
No, they started opening up at the beginning, at the end of April, April 24th. I keep track of this stuff. New York is going to be open Monday.
You're 6 days ahead of what I just said. I said the beginning of May. You said the 24th. That's a 7-day difference. Okay, fine. You can take that.
They started the 24th in April, right?
Yeah, a lot of states still didn't start open until the next week.
You were locked down. You basically locked down for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, depending on where you're at. A couple of months. That's not a long time, dude.
No, that's 60 days. It's too much.
What, in your opinion, is too much? That's not a long time.
In my opinion, they overstepped their boundaries. They just went wild with trying to shut this whole thing down, and they're still trying to put out tracing, contact tracing, and all that. They're just trying to implement more surveillance state, which is what they did after 9/11. It's the same game. Like,
okay, if you're trying to
hype something,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, put yourself in a health official's shoes, right?
Uh-huh.
You're trying to track the spread of a disease, right? Communicable disease, right? Right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to track a spread, what do you need to track it? To track it, what do you need?
You need RFID chips.
No, you don't need RFID. You don't need that. What do you need?
Oh, you don't?
No, you put it on your phone.
You need NSA to be tracking people's phones, and then
they already NSA been tracking your phone since 2001, right? So what?
Yeah, since what's his name exposed it.
He exposed it after that. They knew about that the tracking in 2006.
Well, I'm saying this is another step in that direction, and a a lot of our officials are using this whole thing
Okay.
as an opportunity to extend the surveillance state and to
Extend this.
usher in a new economy, because that's why they're bailing out these banks and stuff.
Oh God. Okay, man. One point at a time. Don't put them all together. Okay. One point at a time. Don't try to layer on well, different
I'm gonna
homogenized
say how I say it. I'm gonna say how I say it. You can figure it apart if you want.
No, dude,
But I'm gonna explain.
all right,
how I explain it.
all right, man. All right, man. You give me a headache. Okay. Give me a headache. Okay. One step at a time. Is that too hard to ask? Is that too hard to ask?
I'm gonna explain the way that I explain it. If you have questions for me, ask.
No, I don't have any more questions for you, dude. I have all the questions.
Okay.
This is your opportunity to be on it. You stated your case. I allowed you to state your case. That's it. All right. Anyway, folks. That's all I got, man. I have a raging headache. And I know he's a millennial with a crappy phone. So I'm gonna bid y'all adieu, and I'm gonna clock out. And did you guys understand him? Because he's all over the place, and I don't know what he was doing. He gives out a whole bunch of information that's wrong that he heard from other places. He didn't read up on this stuff, because I report on this stuff almost on a daily basis. I've been tracking this stuff, man, about banks and stuff like that, man, since 1994. And all the stuff that he's saying is completely wrong. He didn't read. And he tries to put on one stuff to another about what he heard, what he thinks, and make it seem like it's real. Numbers inflated to actually do what? To actually control people and actually get Trump unelected, which makes no sense. I said Trump controls the CDC. Why he inflate his own numbers? It doesn't make sense. Give me something. Give me a good conspiracy theory, not this one, which is bullshit. Okay, contact tracing makes sense if you're trying to track a communicable disease. It makes sense. They're not doing it to everybody. If they really want to do that, all they do is get your cell phone and basically plug it back in and figure out every place that you've been. They don't need an RFID chip. Try to stick an RFID chip. RFID chip idea has been around since 1990. If they haven't done it since then, they're not going to do it now. Doesn't make sense. China's not even doing that. They have way more control over their people than we do, which doesn't make sense. And you're trying to say that the spike, the numbers are inflated here, but not every place, but every place else is being controlled by the United States, which doesn't make sense either. But anyway, man, I have a splitting headache from this, man, because people ran up. I said, man, take it one thing at a time. I'm gonna say it the way I want to say it. Okay, that means that it's bullshit. Okay, you got your shit out, and it's over. So I got my text messages going off, going bonkers. So I'm gonna actually cut this off, and I'll check you guys later. So with that, I'm gonna jump off of here, you guys. Thanks for stopping in, and I'm gonna go get a drink. So peace, y'all.